Hello and welcome to our Friday webinar. We are back with Lisa Bono. Welcome, Lisa. How are you?
Hi, good. How are you?
Good. So we have a fun topic today. So we're going to talk about creating a holidays, like a parrot-centric holiday for your flock, right? That's going to be
Right.
that time of year already. Oh my goodness. Where did October go, right? That's what everyone always says. And then we're like, oh, hello, December is coming up next. So we're talking, let's see, before we, as we let people log in here, we're talking a little bit about your outfit today, right, Lisa? I'm going to ask people, because we got to, okay. I know it sounds funny, but we'll tell you why. What color is Lisa's shirt? And you guys can, let's see if we can, is that something we can do? Should we give them two choices?
No, just let them see if they can guess it.
Okay, so I guess we'll have to put it in the, if you don't mind, in the chat, and then we'll clear the chat. Okay, so we've got purple.
I'm glowing red.
Purple. Everyone is purple. Oh, fuchsia. Okay, so we're kind of going to still purple kind of theme, right?
Okay.
Yeah. All right. I'll give fine. It looks like I would say almost every person says you're wearing purple. Right?
Okay. I am not sure if there's some kind of filter going on my side today, and if so, I don't know how to change it. But I am wearing black.
What?
Yes. So I saw myself in the computer and looked down like, what's going on here? And the same thing with my pants. They're black and they turned purple. So not exactly sure. I apologize if the optics are not that good on my side today. And if anybody knows how to kind of change it in case it's something I did do, let me know. So at least I don't look like a giant cat talking like that one guy that we saw on the news. So,
I want to see what your grays look like on camera now. The view that you have. Be like, so that's yeah. Someone pointed out that maybe that's like bird vision. So you never know. You wonder what colors our birds see us wearing, right? Maybe this is like in that spectrum that they can see.
You guys are seeing me in the ultraviolet range today.
There we go. Or it's like that, they have those viral things on what color is this dress, and some people insist it's pink, and others say it's blue or gray. Yeah, it's kind of like similar. That's there we go.
I promise you it is black, and for the people on my page on Facebook, I will take a picture as soon as we are done here to prove to you that it is black. So, but anyway.
All right, that was fun. Okay, so before we get started, so we have a nice presentation for us today, and we have questions near the end. Just save those for the Q&A button, everybody, if you have a question for Lisa. And I think on that note, we should get started because we kind of cover a lot of territory in a short amount of time. So.
Right. And there's going to be some time for questions at the end because I didn't do the PowerPoint as long as I usually do. So we will start whenever you're ready.
All right. Let's get this going. I think I already gave you. Yep, there you go. You got the PowerPoint power here.
Slideshow. Okay. One more thing is I got to get up here and hide everybody that's talking. Okay, I want to welcome everybody, and I can't believe this is the 15th episode of The Gray Way. I want to thank you all for being part of it and making it a success, and for sending things in for me to use. This all wouldn't be possible if I had to do it on my own, so I want to thank everybody. And we're going to start off, we're not going to be doing safety tips. I already covered that. It was episode 6. So if anybody's interested in going back to the Lafeber YouTube page, you can see all the information there. Again, it's episode 6, and it'll give you some ideas to stay away from and what to, in case you're having relatives over that don't know what's going on, that's the place to go. Today, we're going to be having some fun, and we're actually just going to be talking how you can incorporate your birds into your holiday and see what else everybody has to do. Now, with the show of hands, I'd like to see how many people incorporate their birds into the holidays. Okay. I can see how many hands are going up. Okay, that's good. Okay, so we have about a quarter of the people saying that they incorporate, and there's safe ways you can do it. And a lot of it's going to be one-on-one, but you can make it very fun for them and lasting memories for you. So the first thing I have to start out with is when you're doing any of this stuff, you know, as long as you're not in the kitchen, you want to be making some of this boil here. This is a simmer of apple, cinnamon sticks, vanilla extract, and some brown sugar. And I'm in my kitchen today because actually I have a pot of it going and it smells wonderful. It will get you in the mood for the holidays. And a batch like this will usually last about 3 days. So we're going to start out with some foods that you can make for your parrot. There's one out there that a lot of people will talk about, grain bake. It's known really as a casserole. You can use just about anything to put in there. If you're using the bigger beans, you want to make sure that they have been soaked for 6 to 8 hours prior to use in baking, and then boiled for about 15 minutes before adding them to the bake. The smaller beans, I see I wrote that wrong. Smaller beans can be added uncooked. You can make a bigger batch of this in a deeper dish. You can really use anything that's going to be safe for your bird to eat. And there's quite a few things in there that I have mentioned. You know, I tend to go with more fresh stuff, and I do a lot of dehydrated stuff as well. You can make a big batch of it, you can freeze it, and you can actually share it with your bird friends if you have any around there. Know that if you're putting a mixture together, cinnamon will make it sweeter and pepper will make it spicier. The birds can have both of those. You can make yourself, when you're making your pies, you can make the birds their own mini pies. Now, this information is from Dr. Oros, and these are some of the typical things we use or we see, especially down here in the South now that I'm seeing that they use for pies. So you have sweet potatoes contain 65% of the minimum necessary daily amount of vitamin C for humans. They're high in calcium, folate, potassium, beta carotene, and as much as 700% of the USRDA for vitamin A. So if you're making yourself, you know, a little pie, or you're doing a pumpkin pie, which, you know, is very good as well, all the information is right there, you can get the tiny little itty bitty little pie crust. If you're really handy, you can make it on your own, but I can't tell you how to do that. You just need to make sure that it's one maybe that doesn't have a lot of sugar, a lot of salt. You'd have to look into this, make sure you're using a little pan that is safe. I do a lot of mine in porcelain, like pans, or not pans, but casserole dishes and stuff like that. So look into that. That might be a cute little option. And pecans have a lot, I call them pecans. My husband says that's wrong. Have a lot of good stuff in them as well. Vitamin E, the B complex vitamins, minerals, potassium, selenium, magnesium, calcium, and iron. So why not throw a couple of those in and get the whole thing going? I love them as well. So this is, hold on, I got to move this thing up top so I can see. This is actually something very interesting that I found online. And I was surprised because it was on all recipes. But this is sweet potato bird balls, and they looked really good. And this is actually the recipe right off the site. And again, you make a whole bunch of them, you can freeze them, you can hand them out to your bird friends. If you have a rescue or a sanctuary around, you could drop some off. So you can refer back to this to get the recipe, or again, on the bottom, there's the link for it. And these looked really cute. I might end up trying these because they seemed very simple and they looked very good. Next thing is going to be a healthy bird bread. There are some bird breads on the market, a lot of which are decent. You have a lot of people will use like a corn muffin mix. They have a lot of sugars and possibly salt in them. I've tried them in the past before there was, before we had a lot of research like this. And I thought I was doing a good thing, and I used the cornbread mix and, you know, put my peas, carrots, everything in there. But I wouldn't do that again. So this talks a little bit, this is from the Happy Cockatoo. This is Elle wrote this. She may be from the Parrot Pantry on Facebook. I couldn't find links taking it right there, but this might be something some of you have seen already. And it talks about the importance of flour, what you want to use and to stay away from. You can add in your little chia and flax, and then pack 2 or 3, you know, cups of raw veggies and cook that up. And again, it's a great way to incorporate them into your holiday and something specific for them. Now here, I thought this was cute. Obviously, unless you have a whole bunch of birds that get along, this is not going to be practical. But if you really think about this, you could take, for the little body of the turkey, you could take a little ball of sweet potato, and then you cut your grapes really thin. And then maybe you slice your oranges in half, and so on and so forth. And you can make a really cute little turkey. You can use vegetables, because remember, vegetables are always going to be better than sugars because of the fruits, because of the sugars in the fruits. So if you could use your broccolis, you can use anything like that. But I thought that was an adorable little idea. I may try that with my girls because they do get along when they're eating, unless it's a cashew. Emma's not sharing. So I may try that. And I'd like to know if you guys try it too. Again, scale it down. It's a lot of waste for one bird. So, you know, and they don't need to have that much sugar. I thought this was a cute idea. This was actually on Pet DIYs. You can make a Christmas tree out of broccoli. So you get an organic head of broccoli that has a long stem. You clean the broccoli and then cut the florets off of the stalk and break the florets into small clumps. Use toothpicks to attach the clumps around the stalk and completely cover it. Cut out the star from the yellow pepper and attach the star on top of the tree with toothpicks. Cut the remaining of the pepper into long strips and wrap it around the broccoli tree. You can stick cranberries in there. You can, you know, do your nuts or your walnuts, slice cranberries, tuck them into any gaps that are left in the tree. And then what they did here is they used a little bit of riced cauliflower, which we can all find in the grocery store. And they just kind of put it on top to make it look like fake snow. Now, granted, I know some of these ideas might take you a little bit to do, but if you're doing it with your bird and you're enjoying it together, that's what it's all about. Now you can create garland, and this can be a topic that, you know, people might be a little bit confused on. I do garlands for my guys, but I don't necessarily use strings like you typically would do. So that's going to limit you to what you can really string, but we'll get into that. You never want to use fishing line, regular string, Kevlar thread. That's very strong, and that can cause harm or death to the parrot if it becomes entangled. So I tend to use thin leather cord, maybe paper cords. I'm really good with paper cords. My clients can tell you that if they have a box that's sent for me, a lot of times I'll make them a toy and it's always going to be on paper cord. You have white shoelaces, as long as they're not bleached and they're new. You can use those too, because it's got the little aglet on there that makes it easier to stick through things. And when all else fails, the stainless steel kebabs. I love those things. When this came from Super Bird Toy, when you're designing bird toys, please follow these guidelines. Wherever possible, use short pieces only of cordage. If using long pieces of cordage, do not leave long lengths of empty cordage exposed. Use knots between the pieces and consider the use strategically paced and non-destructible parts to minimize potential risks. So again, I'll show you some of the things that I did. Do not go to your Dollar General, your Michaels, your Joann Fabrics, your craft stores. Do not go there and buy the cordage or the any kind of stuff that they have there, only because you do not know what that stuff has been dipped in to make it last. A lot of jute and stuff like that has toxins, sprayed on them or dipped on them to make them last and stay in storage. So you're going, if you've ever noticed, you may have already gone and done that and realized the really strong smell when you open it up. That's the chemicals. So, you know, good jute is not going to smell. So make sure you're using materials that are meant for parrots. So some of the natural stuff you can use for your garland. Natural fiber cordage is going to be your coconut. You have your hemp. I think this got cotton. Okay. Abaca. There's swings and stuff and toys made out of abaca. You have your sisal. Again, there's swings and toys made out of the sisal. The synthetic cordage, I also like that. It's called polyrope. So it has a little cording or a little coverage on it that it doesn't come apart right away. So it's a little bit stronger and easier to thread through things. You might have to keep cutting the edge to get all the split parts off. But a lot of bird toys use it, and it's 100% non-toxic. And it's a great way if you're using maybe something a little wet that you want to string, you know, something that would be bigger, obviously, because the polyrope is going to be thicker. Cotton rope, and we'll get into the thread in a little bit, but you only want to use 100% natural unbleached cotton rope. Because there's a difference between the stuff, again, that you're getting at Home Depot or you're getting at any of the big stores. You have to really be careful when using anything like this, because if it's left just hanging there and you have long pieces, you can have the bird's toes wrapped up in it, legs wrapped up in it. I'm sure you've seen all the posts with the outdoor birds that get caught up in this stuff because people put it out for them to make nesting materials and it kills them. So you want to make sure that you're always keeping an eye on this and always trimming anything that is extra, and don't just leave hanging ropes in there, because the birds can chew on them, they can ingest them, and then you're going to have a very expensive vet bill when you go and have to have that lump of, you know, material taken out if they survive. So be careful with that. Another idea is actually making paper chain like the snowflakes we used to do in school. There's a lot of different ideas out there. I would opt to probably use a brown paper bag. I use those for a lot of things, but this is a nice little idea you can do, and you can actually attach it to the side of the cage. It makes it festive. The birds can actually watch you do it as long as they're not trying to get a hold of your scissors. And it would be fun for them to just to tear up, and it's pretty economical for you to do. Here is a Sola and mahogany pod garland that I made. It wasn't that easy to get this paper cord through the Sola, but because, you know, there's nothing wet there, I could use it, and I actually broke two of them trying to get it through. So the birds made out really well today. I made this for Sydney, and you could see him munching down on it in between it from the side of his cage. And it doesn't have to be something like this. It can be cupcake papers, you know, that you get at the store. Boxes, they have little itty bitty little boxes, you know, 2x2 boxes that you can fill with different things and string that. You have your wooden pieces, your wooden slats, and even the wooden pieces from toys that have not been completely destroyed yet. And you can use big acrylic beads. I always save my beads to recycle them. Now, this one was really a hit. Again, this was, these are little Dixie cups, bathroom Dixie cups. They don't have a lot of color on them. They don't have any wax on them. And what I did is I poked a hole in the bottom, and then I put a little bit of the shredded paper inside. And two of them have little mahogany pods. One has an almond, one has a nutri-berry, one has a cashew. Trying to think what the other one had in there. But anyway, so that, I mean, Sammy watched me do that, and this was going to go to Emma, but Sammy was just too interested in it. So here you go. So she was chewing at it before I even got it attached into her cage. So you can use it as a foraging item. You can make it as a garland. It's just incorporating something in there. You might find something that's a little bit more festive, but I didn't have it in, and I was going to make more, but actually I hurt my finger before, and so we had to stop the bleeding. Okay, so this is a great idea, and a lot of my pictures are going to be coming off the internet, whether they're Pinterest or I signed up so I can find some, more classic stuff. The one on the left of the screen, that's actually an excellent idea. They did that for outside birds. So I'm pretty sure they did it on wire. I'm not really a fan of that because once the birds start chewing, there could be an issue unless you make sure that it is a safe wire. And when it's done, you take it out. Most of these ideas, I would really rather you use them outside the cage, supervise the entire time, and take away when it's done. So whether you're doing it just on a table or on the tree, you just want to make sure. And if you're insistent on stringing small fruits like raisins and cranberries, only use the cotton thread outside the cage, supervise the entire time, and take away when done. Cotton thread has a low stretch and tends to break easily. But again, it's not something you want twisted around your bird's toes, legs, neck, wing. It could cause a lot of damage. So that's why I tend to go to the bigger, the paper cording, leather, as long as it's not something that's going to ruin the piece and cause mold. I thought this was a really super cute idea. So they took some orange slices and they actually just baked them in the oven. And I have seen some companies sell stuff like this towards birds. So they took an orange, and what they did is they put it in the oven and baked it up. It looks like they have lemon and limes, but I'm sure you guys can figure out something better. And then it's tied probably with a little piece of hemp. And then you have some paper on the top, maybe raffia. And they have cinnamon sticks in there. They have peppers in there. And that isn't going to be, as long as you have the correct way to attach it, maybe with the paper, you won't have as much issues and worries about getting caught because they could chew right through that. You can see some of them have anise stars on them. They smell wonderful, especially when they're sucked up by the vacuum cleaner. And the birds like them as well. You can create your own tree for them. There's various different ways. If you have a bigger bird, you could probably take, where you see in the middle, there's a picture of a cockatiel and an African gray on this tree. So I would suspect, so they didn't have any kind of nails or anything, they probably have a dowel down the middle of that. And they drilled holes and got all those pieces of wood. Either they drilled it in the middle or at the end, I'm not sure. But then they were able to put it all together, and then they hung the birds' toys on there, which is a great idea. I haven't seen any commercial ones made for our birds. Have seen them made with like 2x4s for them really destructive cockatoos and macaws. So that's a great idea as well. And you could dress your trees up. And for our grays and our littler guys, you can do a cardboard tree. So they look like they're pretty easy to make. And there's a picture there all the way down to the right corner. It'll kind of show you how to put them together. And then you can always string stuff on there as well, stringing by toys, and I'll show you exactly what I mean, or the paper cordage, you can do that as well. These are actually trees from the Phoenix Atlantic blog quite a few years ago, and there used to be laser cut patterns for this and sold. Now, I have not seen them personally, but I remember seeing these pictures and I thought it was a fantastic idea. So I did find someone that may be able to get us some of these. Most of them that you're going to find online are going to be coming from like Ukraine, Italy, and we want to try to cut down on that. We want to try to do USA if we can, and you know, this way it gets here easier with shipping. You can see the size of that. It's not going to be very big, but that would be fantastic for cockatiels, maybe parakeets, and string some stuff on there. Now, by what I mean by stringing, we'll get there. Okay, so the company that used to make these trees is CBSARFI, CB Safari, and they do have a site, but these are the items that are going to be Christmassy right now. I am not sure how big that deer head is. That would probably be great for a cockatoo. The tree does tend to be a little big, and you would have to be pretty vigilant trying to figure out how to hang things on there. They must have changed the designs, and I did not get a chance to write to them. So you can always go to their site as well and ask them if they have the old laser cut trees. They might have some. Now, this is what I mean by stringing toys. There are actually toys out there that are made and they have hooks at both ends, so you can attach them somehow. You have your little straw links. You have a little shoelace toy that can be put on top. You have the star that can be put on top. So for instance, with these, and I'm going to see if I can have one of my distributors make them. Again, this is off the internet because they need to be done with untreated pine. And so what I would do with these, if I was feeling crafty, I would make sure I get a stainless steel washer, bolt, and nut to attach it to the side of the cage, okay? And then what I could do is either, to be safe, I could drill little holes in it and then put like a little piece of paper cording and attach it that way and make my own garland on the tree with some of these toys. And then you can attach it to the side of the cage. So that's a great option to incorporate them as well. And you have everything from, you know, Tig's favorite little toy up here in the corner with the balsa. You have the stainless steel, that stuff down here. There's a lot of things you can do. You just have to use your imagination. And again, a lot of these things can be made by you if you have the parts to do them. Don't forget to wrap the gifts. Now, I know we all get our birds toys. I mean, I make stockings for clients like crazy. And I see a lot of birds chewing on wrapping paper. Now, while I realize through the years that a lot of them have become non-toxic, realize when you're going to Dollar General and stuff like that, you know, most of the stuff is coming in from overseas and they're not going to be regulated the way that ours are. So I don't use any kind of wrapping paper on my birds gifts. I'll use either a napkin, which I couldn't find a picture of, or brown paper bag. Again, those brown paper bags come in handy. So you can see there's a little cinnamon stick on there. That the ribbon actually looks like something from a bakery. Again, you can use the paper ribbon. If you get the safe hemp or something like that, you can use that as well. You can tie cinnamon sticks with it. I mean, you know, there's a lot of cute ways, and this way you know it's for the bird, and you can just give them the whole thing and let them tear it up, and then the toy inside. I mean, if you use a plain brown little box, I'm not a fan of using the ones that come through, you know, a delivery service, because you don't know if it's been sitting on the ground or if, you know, if it's been sitting in mud. So I tend to use new stuff, even if I have to go to like, I think it's Uline, and get, you know, smaller stuff and use that. So celebrate and decorate. So here we have Sammy, and Sammy, her original owner did not celebrate Christmas, so we decided we wanted to incorporate her holiday into ours. So I got her a little menorah up there. I do not ever light those candles. Those are just simply there for decoration, but it makes me feel better that she has something. And if you look at her, she kind of looks like she recognizes it. So these are some of the things I've done in the past for my guys. Now, the first two are trees that have actually been in my bird rooms, and they just got bigger over the years. I've acquired more ornaments, and customers and clients have made them for me, so they are always on my tree. The one all the way to the right was actually at my store. Now, if you can notice on there, there are some toys. It's probably easiest to see down at the bottom left-hand side of that tree. You'll see some toys down there. I did a lot of lightweight toys. I made sure they weren't sitting on the lights. I made sure they were not really touching the tree. They were out, out and about. And I also had ornaments on there. So people could come in and they could pick right off the tree and decide, whether they wanted something for themselves or something for the birds. Now, one year, I took the little tree you see there, and that was completely covered in bird toys for them. It was kind of small for that, considering there was a lot of wood on it, and I had to make sure it wasn't tipping over. I did not have lights on it either. But the first year I bought it, I hung all their toys on there and let the birds pick out their toys. I walked around the tree and let them have it. And actually it worked out good, with the exception, you had to be careful because you didn't want it tipping over. So that's, if you have a smaller bird, you can get a smaller tree, or you can get the cardboard tree and decorate it and just let them have at it. Don't forget the stockings. Now, if you want to incorporate them into being part of your family, most of your family has stockings, so why not get him or her own? So these are some of the stockings through the years I've had made for my clients, and they came out really cute. So make or buy something for your tree to mark each passing year. I made the Sydney Bell little ornament up there in the corner. I also painted the little cage in the corner, and I painted the ball up there with the African gray on it. And I did that just to put more balls on the tree, and I always date them on the back, so this way I can refer back to them. The tree all the way to the right is their tree now. I don't necessarily put it in the room because the birds are out, they're fully flighted. That's all I need is for one of them to land on the tree because they think it looks pretty and want to bite a light. So it's right outside their room now, where they could see it, but they can't really reach it. And then if you can, have an ornament made. I had a client who used to make ornaments for us, may be able to convince her to do some more, but she made these for clients, and it's a great way to incorporate your bird into the holiday. Even if they don't have their tree, they can have their own ornament. And most importantly, don't forget to take pictures. And the reason I'm saying this is because as much as we want them to be, they're not going to be with us forever. So take pictures through the years, save them, enjoy them, because one day you're going to be looking back and you're going to be looking for them. And sadly, I've known quite a few people who have lost their birds this year, and they're going to be looking for those pictures to share with everybody. So make sure you have plenty on hand for any occasion that you can share. And this is the end. So I want to thank you, and I will stop sharing so we can see if anybody has any questions, or if anybody wants to share what they do for the holidays with their birds. They can put it down in the chat, and then somebody can keep an eye on it.
All right, let's see. That was fascinating. I mean, those are so nice little touches to brighten up the holidays, bird style. Love it.
I really like that little ornament with the orange and the cinnamon and the pepper. I thought that was such a fantastic idea. And I just actually found it this morning. So I didn't do a lot of research on it. It was on Pinterest again. And I was like, wow, that's such a fantastic idea.
Nice. Well, I hope I hope this inspires a lot of people also, that they send us photos of their creations. That would be awesome to put on Lafeber's social. Okay, let's see what we got here for questions for you. Are you ready?
Yep.
Okay. So can parrots hurt their mouth with the toothpicks in the broccoli Christmas tree? You need to be careful with that.
I would think you'd probably need to be a little bit careful, but if you look at the wood that they chew, they are constantly playing with splinters. And if you have a bird that doesn't ingest a lot of stuff, you shouldn't have an issue. You know, your smaller birds are going to be picking at the little florets, you know, the little buds on them. Your bigger guys might just decide to go take a big honk and bite. So you have to know your bird. I think Emma would be rather gentle with it if she decided to even try it, because she's not a broccoli girl. But you can use your imagination. If they like something better, you can Brussels sprouts. I know Sam likes Brussels sprouts. So there's different things you can do, and just be mindful of it. Don't put it in a cage and walk away.
Okay. And just a real quick about just holiday setup in general. Just maybe should people be like aware of, if you suddenly, you know, a Christmas tree or decoration pop, you know, you put next to your bird's cage and they're kind of like, wait, what is this? And they've got to spend the month of December or a little beyond that, kind of, you know, a little bit you know, a little bit afraid of that
Right.
sculpture that's not there usually.
Right. Well, as with anything that's new or introduced to the room, there's a chance that they may be a little bit nervous about it. My guys are used to things constantly changing here. And if I see Emma, for instance, act a little different, like Emma will actually be on my hand and she'll fall backwards if she gets spooked to something. So I got to hold on to her feet so she doesn't fall off me. But then I'll pull her into my chest and I'll say, it's okay, it's all right. And, you know, I'll sit there and I'll watch her, you know, her body language. And little by little, we're able to get closer to it. I can't say my Amazons or the cockatoos or even my cockatiels, I don't think they were really dazed by anything that was in the room. But yeah, the grays might be a little hesitant. So you might start, you know, 5 feet away or watch body language as you're doing it.
Probably the same thing with, I imagine, with Christmas lights kind of blinking, like they're some birds be like, ah.
Yeah, I don't really, I've never really used the color ones, and I don't really have blinking. There's one tree that I have a very slow blink, but you got to remember again, the way parrots see, you don't want a strobe like effect going on.
Okay. Okay. Oh, and what about like, I mean, I guess there's always the Christmas card photo opportunities with your flock, right? Do you send out those, you know, like any tips, tricks, or cautions? You know, obviously I imagine, you know, bringing your bird outdoors for a Christmas photo takes a lot of precautions ahead of time. So maybe skip that.
Yeah, I don't take any of my guys outside because my boys do not get along. What I'll do is I'll make sure that someone's in the room with me and right out of the view of the camera to get in the middle if they need to. Usually it's my husband. So you don't see him in the pictures, but he's right there. So it does take, you know, time to figure out, you know, who's going to go where, make sure that they get along. You know, if they don't, they're on the farthest away that they can or sitting on another object. You know, don't expect to pull a Java tree out and stick it in front of a tree and everybody be happy with it, because that's not the way it's going to work. So if you take the birds, you know, one by one and you go over and you introduce them and show them the tree, you know, I don't really go within probably 2 feet of my tree because I don't want my birds thinking it's interesting and wanting to land on it. So I have through the years gotten away from glass stuff because I don't want to be stepping on it. I don't want the birds in it. So a lot of mine is now acrylic, but still in all, I don't need the mess of a bird landing in it with the sparkles and everything else, because that's not good for them. So I'll take the birds out one by one, get them used to seeing the tree. Then maybe I'll take the one Java tree out and put it over there and take one bird out and let them sit on it for a little bit and look and, you know, acclimate them to it.
Okay. Oh, sorry. I just got email. So Brenda just sent me Maureen, Dr. Lamb's gray with the menorah. Let me see if I can screen share these pictures. It's kind of cute. Oh, here we go. Ready? I'm going to screen share real quick. Give me a second here. All right. Let's see if this works. Here's one. It's cute. It's got the nutri-berries on it. There we go.
That's really cute.
Oh, that's adorable. Wow.
Yes.
There you go.
So there's a lot of different things you could do. I mean, that's pretty creative right there. I might have to try that with Sam on hers. So.
Yeah. And then I know, with the popcorn nutri-berries, kind of like use those the traditional stringing of, right?
Correct. And again, if you're going to string something like that, the smaller popcorns, like the dried cranberries, anything like that, you want to make sure that you're not putting it in a cage and you're watching them. So this way they're not getting entangled in anything.
And then I have another photo to share from, I think this is, sorry, I just got these, another Dr. Lamb's Gray. Hang on one second, because this is really adorable. Let's see here. Okay, there's this one. Another idea.
That's cute too. So there's a lot of different ideas that people have that I may have not thought of. That's why I wanted to know if anybody else has ideas and what they do.
And if you notice, they're contoured toward the bird type. So this is a cockatiel, right? So this seems very like a cockatiel's toy for sure.
Yeah, and that would work great for a gray as well. I mean, just stick a nut down in there or your nutri-berry and, a couple little toy parts, let them have at it. That would be good.
All right, there we go. That was cute. All right, let's see if we have any more questions for you. Okay, we're ready. Here we go. Oh, sorry, my chat feature. There we go. Are there cards that would be safe to use to make toys? So like obviously photo cards wouldn't be safe, but how about like regular cardboard card? Is that safe? Like
you mean like the stuff you buy at Office Depot to make cards? I'm a little confused. Because you can use regular, paper, printing paper. And you're making cards for what? For the bird to destroy? Or
oh, that would be a fun idea. Make a destroyable, edible, or no, edible, but chewable holiday card for your bird, right?
Right. And the thing is I would question the type of ink that is used. Whether they're writing on it with a pen or, anything like that. I can't tell you what would be toxic and what would not. It's, I guess, pens and printing ink is really not meant for kids to chew on and eat. So that would be my concern.
Okay. And let's see here. So we got the cards. Also, what was my thought here? If you have so for that, sorry, I was gonna say, I know some people that the toilet that they've used like the toilet paper inner tube. Is that something that you would recommend for any kind of, I've seen it used as like almost like an ornament decoration that's filled with stuff.
Okay. I know what you're talking about. It looks like the same thing where you pull them apart.
Like a popper. Sorry. Yes. Thank you. Popper. That's
okay.
It. That's what I'm talking about. Poppers.
I would use, I use paper towel rolls over toilet paper rolls only because, where's that toilet paper holder or roll bin? Not in the most sanitary spot. Yeah. So I happen to use Scott paper towels, usually a 6-pack. Their paper towels don't have any glue on the roll itself. So to hold on to paper. So that's what I'll usually do, whether I cut it down in 2s or 3s, and then yes, you can wrap them in, you put stuff in there, wrap them up with a brown bag, tie the ends with your little ropes that I suggested, or your little cordage. If you're using leather and stuff like that, you can put recycled little beads on the leather and have that hang off. So there's a lot of different things you could do.
All right. So looking, let's see. So we got this for like the December holidays. So let's say any ideas when New Year's hits. So I'm thinking like, because that's like kind of a popper idea, right? Like a little.
It is.
So something kind of maybe like a I don't know, like a champagne flute that's birds themed.
I'd have to look into that and see what I can come up with, to see if there's something like that out there. I happen to have New Year's Eve at my house all the time because of the fact that I don't want fireworks going off and scaring the birds. So usually they're in bed a little bit earlier that night, just to keep them calm. I might keep the light on, but them semi-covered, and maybe have a little soft music playing in the background, just in case the neighbor decides to light off an M80. So.
That's right. And I guess you probably don't want any, what do you call it? Confetti kind of stuff around, like, those little shooter confetti things that people use for holiday celebrations.
Right. Well, once you give them a toy, it's going to be confetti. So.
That's true. That'll make their own confetti. I guess I mean like the like the metallic-y kind of stuff.
Yeah, that kind of stuff is probably not the best. I mean, there's other ones, or I'm sure you can, if you're able to refill them, you refill them with, paper ones, something like that, but you're going to have it all over your house anyway. So, but there's so many different ideas that people come up with to do for the holidays, just to incorporate the birds into it, whether it's making them their own special little Thanksgiving Day plate. Be careful with what you're offering, whether it's a Christmas toy, or, even I've seen like little event calendars, and
oh gosh, yeah,
or advent calendars, maybe they're called. I think I might have seen one through your site somewhere, whether it was on Facebook or something like that. I mean, that's a great idea too, to have a little treat underneath the little paper they can pull up once a day, and look forward to it. It's, it's all about them being part of it instead of being stuck in a room by themselves.
Yeah, no, that's a fun thing to do. It can either be a little treat or a toy, or everything combined.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Speaking of, so just to give a sneak peek, we have a really big webinar with you coming up in December, which is, remember, heading into this time last year was probably one of our more exciting webinars that we had. A first one we've ever done of that type, and that was our holiday giveaways, right?
Right. And actually, I was working on this webinar and that one at the same time. So we have some really nice surprises to discuss next month and to give away. So you definitely want to make sure that you're signed up and you're there, because you're going to regret it if you're not.
There's a lot of planning that goes into that too.
Yes. A lot of emails, a lot of phone calls on my behalf to talk to all my fantastic distributors and manufacturers that I've been dealing with for over a decade. I've supported them through the years, and I'm glad to see that they're supporting me back and wanting to make this a success. So it's gonna be a real good one.
Nice. And just to, you have all these really nice ideas and stuff. If you're gonna have your elves put together some fun bird themed holiday stuff, there's also, maybe we the idea of giving stuff to your other bird friends, gifts, and also maybe some bird clubs or bird rescue groups,
right,
make it fun for them, right?
Yes, I actually put together boxes for clients, and I've been doing that since I had the store. And I kind of ship them all over the world. We do send them to rescues, sanctuaries. We have certain birds that are sponsored by people, and they request little presents being sent to them. If you're looking for a parrot gift for your friends, there's many different places to go. If there's something more personal, I've been able to help with a lot of that as well. But we gear up quite a bit here for the holidays. So.
Well, speaking of, Lafeber is going to be giving away 12 days of Christmas products for 12 lucky viewers in December. So something to look forward to. Yeah.
And I saw my one client on there that was asking about the samples. So now you know you'll be getting some samples for the holidays with the pellets that you were looking for from Lafeber.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Oh, by the way, I love since the next holiday, the big holiday coming up is going to be Thanksgiving, but I love the little turkey, your little turkey display that you made.
I'd be interested in seeing what other people come up with different kinds of fruits and veggies they can use. That again was something off of Pinterest, and I thought, what a great idea, especially if you have a whole bunch of birds, you know, if you just put it on your table and let them have at it. So I'll be interested to see what people on my page come up with to show the pictures, and I urge you to share them on Lafeber's page as well.
There we go. And then, I mean, there's going to be fun with, pumpkins, right? So a lot of stuff you can do with pumpkins heading into, as we head towards the middle and end of November here.
Yeah, I didn't get into that one too much because we kind of covered it last month, but yes, yeah. The pumpkins, I don't know if you got any videos or any pictures coming through. I've seen quite a few different pictures on my Facebook page and videos of people getting into their pumpkins. So people and their parrots getting into their pumpkins. So I actually gave one to my 3 girls and they all just looked at it like, I don't think so. So, you know, I decided to cook it instead and put it in their dinner.
There you go. There you go. Let's see. And also, I always like this, being like, you know, like bird person. I love when you go shopping and you find those unexpected bird themed plates, cups, napkins, towels, and it's almost like it's kind of interesting because sometimes the parrots that are depicted are spot on, you know, the species, and other times are kind of like a mixture of 2 different birds. Have you come across any?
Your macaw too, right? So, but yeah, there's I mean, Etsy's getting good with some kind of good things for people that are handmade and different, and you know, so that's a good place to look as well. So you actually get your species.
Yeah, Brenda said they're called fantasy parrots.
Yes,
I think I was at Target and I saw exactly what you're talking about. It was like an Amazon cockatoo.
Yeah, I had a few of those on my tree for sale at the store because that's what we could get. It was the closest to macaws we could find. So I brought a couple of them in as well.
Oh, that's so,
yes.
And then I still have a pair of Amazon themed Christmas socks that I got years ago because there's some Amazons with Christmas hats on them. I'll have to break them out.
Yes, that would be cute. That would be cute. Yeah. For gray people, you don't see that too often. I wish there was more of that around. But I did speak with somebody that makes some planters. And we're hoping to have an African gray planter out soon. So for outside in the summer. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to seeing that.
Oh, very cool. That's there we go. And just so if you guys I think Brenda put this out there, but if you have photos to share with us, email it to us or on our social. What is it's customer service at lafeber.com, or you can post it on the Lafeber Facebook page. But it'd be fun to see everyone's holiday creations, what they've made, you know, with or without. And there's also, so you can also, another idea might be people use the bird safe paint to have their birds do their own little, their own little walk across. Do you ever do that?
I've seen that. I may end up trying to do that. I got to find out which paint it is. But yeah, I'm, you know, Sam might do it. She might be more cooperative than say Abby, who would just want to kill everything. So, but yeah, I might try that. So it's you know, it's good to, you know, take a lot of pictures and do stuff that you, like I said, like to create memories, because you never know when you're going to have to pull them up. So
yes, there's one tradition that kind of recently started with my family is I think it's I can't remember what culture it is. I want to say maybe a Scandinavian culture where you leave the bird seed out for the wild birds, like a little sample for them, and it gives you good luck for the year. Like if they, So the first day of the new year, it's like a little offering for. So I'm sure everyone on here has some bird food that they could put out there as their offering.
I'll have to ask my cousins because I am Swedish.
There you go.
So see if they do that. But
all right. And yeah, so yeah, you make it's a random point. You can make garland for wild birds with the popcorn and cranberries. Yeah,
yes.
There you go.
And there is a good idea if you have the stainless steel wire that you can cut off and maybe crimp the ends when you're done. That's probably a good way of making sure that it stays good for the outside birds versus with your own inside. Because, you know, it's going to get wet out there and string and paper and all that kind of stuff isn't going to work. But again, I urge you to really keep an eye on it so no one gets hurt.
Okay. Yeah. And then Kim just said that it's a Scandinavian tradition. Yeah. Leaving the food out for the wild birds.
Okay.
There you go.
I knew about the wooden shoes, but not the bird food.
Maybe you can use that as the bird feeder and be themed to that.
Right.
Or if you had the wooden shoes with your, I could imagine with your Amazon, your macaw, your cockatoo, they just, like those. There you go.
Exactly.
Wow. Okay. So I have to announce today's winner of our giveaway. Speaking of, this hopefully will give you a nice kickstart to your weekend and a prelude to our big giveaways coming up in December. So for today's giveaway winner, that is going to be Ruth. I hope I'm saying the name right. Kochoff. Ruth, you are our today's giveaway winner. Congratulations. You'll be getting the Lafeber foraging fun pack, as well as another Lafeber product of your bird's choice. Hopefully that makes your weekend. And let's see. Oh, and someone else reminded that's another thing for the holidays coming up is the Great Backyard Bird Camp too. So you can go. That might be on the maybe the Cornell or the Audubon's website, but yeah. So there we go. Another thing to do in bird theme for the holidays is there's a lot of stuff that you could do that's helping all the birds outside there. So.
Right. Benefit the wildlife.
Yes. Okay. So I just real quick. So next Friday, we're going to be back on with Dr. Lamb, and she's going to give us the lowdown on holiday hazards for pet birds. So another good theme to address while we head into the holiday season. And then Lisa, we got a big one coming up with you when we see you again. And yeah. I want to know if your black is going to be purple. This might be.
I don't know. I'll send you a picture.
All right. Maybe we'll try a different color and see if it comes out like try red and see if it comes out like brown, or I don't know.
Right. And if anybody has an idea why I'm so different today, if they could send me the information and try to get it back to where I was, in case it's some kind of app I don't know of. So
maybe if you wear black, maybe if you wear purple, it'll look black. It'll be like opposite. Right. There you go.
Right.
All right. That was fabulous. Yeah, so big things ahead. We've got we're little elves working behind the scenes to get the holiday one up and running for December, our giveaway. And again, oh yeah, someone just pointed out that the painting behind you is pink.
Yeah, that's why I went like this to see.
Is that normally pink?
No, it's white.
All right, there you go. You have a theme going there.
Yeah.
All right.
It's been something I pushed in the background.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, I made it fun. Yeah. So next Friday, tune in. We got Dr. Lamb, our new holiday hazards. And then I believe we have another episode of Ask the Vet with Dr. Tolley at the end of this month. And then we dive right into December. And we're working behind the scenes to get some fabulous products for our giveaway for the December.
We're there. We're getting there.
There we go.
So.
All right. On that note, I hope everyone has a fabulous weekend. A lot of busyness probably coming up in this month and next with people. This is like the crazy time of the year coming up with the holidays. So right. Everyone stay sane, stay safe, and all the best to you and your flock.
And like I said, anybody who's got those holiday pictures with what they've created from the webinar, please reach out to me and send them. I'd love to see them.
Yes, and customer service at lafeber.com. Yeah, share some photos or on the Facebook page. All right, guys. On that note, everyone have a great weekend. Bye.
Bye.